Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackie and I hope you're all having a great day today. So what we're going to be doing today is discussing the crazy neighbors once again. I asked you guys on TikTok last night to comment all of your neighbor questions and I'm going to try to answer as many as possible again. Then we're probably going to review some of the footage. Okay, so if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, my crazy neighbors. So basically it's all posted on my TikTok. I've been converting my van and they moved in a few months ago. So while I've been out there converting the van, they've been coming out saying crazy stuff and yelling and getting mad, and they're just crazy people. I don't know what's up with them, but if you want to see everything they've done, just go over to my TikTok. It's going to be linked down below and you'll get an idea for it. So we don't really know like much about them as people or what their deal is, but we do know that they're crazy. I have some information, so I'm going to try to answer all of your questions that I see on a daily basis. There's always neighborhood questions, so that's why I'm doing this video right now. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And also, I'm coming out with merch, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna have Halloween merch, van merch, all types of stuff, so stay tuned for that. Okay, other than that, let's just get straight into this video. I'm kind of nervous, but let's get into it. The first question is, how did the drama start? They're newer neighbors, right? I don't really know exactly how it started, but I think it started to feel like tension after they moved in, and about, I think it was like a few days later, it's hard to remember, but they asked me to dig a giant hole for them while I was out working in the van, and I just said, no, I don't really want to do that, and I kind of thought they were joking. And once I said no, I felt like they got upset and they just walked away. So ever since then, it just started getting progressively more and more like aggressive and apparent. They just come and say weird stuff to me when I was working out there, not doing anything in the middle of the day. Another thing that I think started it or kind of like makes them upset is when I use the power tools. I don't know why it would make them upset, because I make sure I put them away at 7:30 or 8 latest, and that was in the middle of summer when it's still light until like 9:30. So I'd put them away, but I think it'd make them mad that I was even using them in general. I noticed they are like sexist too. Like they'd say to my dad, why are you letting her do this? She shouldn't be building, like she's a girl, all that type of stuff. So I think they're just bothered by me using it, and I don't know, because I feel like, okay, you guys tell me, do you think it's rude that I use power tools until 7:30 at night? And keep in mind, these people don't go to bed early. They literally are up until like 3 a.m. I'll see them out, like I'll go out to the fridge and get some water in the middle of the night and I see them walking around with flashlights. So they don't go to sleep early. So they're not trying to sleep whatsoever. So for some reason, I think that pisses them off, but I don't know. Or that they always say, you're always out here, you're always out here. So I don't know if they're like trying to scare me away and they're like trying to do something sketchy, and since I'm out there, they can't do it. I'm not sure. So I don't know if they're trying to scare me away, intimidate me, they are actually mad at me, they actually hate me, I don't know. But that's my best guess of why they always get mad. So someone said, what is the ongoing case about? And I can tell you a little bit about it. I honestly don't even know the full detail of what the case is about. The reason I called the police is because I heard the little girl or whoever it is screaming again, and then I was standing there and the guy saw me standing there and he came storming up to me and like basically got in my face and yelled at me, and so I called the cops because that looks even more sketchy that was so defensive and weird like that. So I called the police, they came and I told them what happened, that the girl's screaming, and then all I know, they took them away and they were gone for like a couple days, I believe. They were gone, they were gone for one day and then they came back, and then that day I saw an ambulance in front of their house, so I don't know what happened there, but then they were gone for like another full day, but now they're back again. So I don't know really what happened. I don't know. I think the case is about the little girl, but I don't know if it's about anything else, like if something came up, or I don't know. I'm waiting to hear what happens, just like you guys are. All I know is I called the police because the little girl was screaming and the guy came charging at me. So a lot of people say they're scared that they're gonna try to do something to the van, and I kind of agree. I don't think they do anything like drastic to it, but I know that they messed up my painting on the outside. I know they did that. I don't know how else that would happen. We have cameras now and we like let them know we have cameras. So I don't think they're really gonna be trying anything crazy. So I'm not too concerned about that anymore. Okay, have they seen my TikToks and YouTube about them? I seriously don't know how, but I don't think they have. They're older people, so I don't think they're really like into that. Like they're probably like 40s or 50s, and I know if they did see it, they'd come storming over and say something. So nothing like that has happened. I really don't think they have a single clue about it, but I do worry about that literally every single day that they're gonna see it. Why don't you just stay in your van now instead of building a tiny house in the yard? Okay, so that's actually a good question, and it does pertain to the neighbors, I promise. So I don't know if you guys saw one of my YouTube videos a couple weeks ago and also my TikToks from a couple weeks ago, but basically someone broke into my car, as long as a bunch of neighbors' cars and 2 or 3 neighbors' homes. So with all those break-ins going on, I don't feel safe out there in a van, and I also don't feel safe just always being in my driveway right next to the neighbor's lawn. Because like I said, they're always outside with the flashlight walking around, so I just don't feel safe like in front of my house in the driveway. So that's why I'm just doing the tiny home in my backyard where I feel safe, because there's been so many break-ins in my neighborhood recently. It's really bad. So that's why I'm doing the tiny home instead, and I've always wanted to build one, so I figured why not right now. One of the questions I get the most is, why are your neighbors so crazy? I don't know. They're just sketchy. I don't know what... I honestly just don't know. That's just like how they are. And I think they just like feed off of each other, like in the way that if one of them doesn't like someone, the other one instantly hates them, and they just go back and forth, and it just builds up. And I think it's just been escalated because both of them are like going back and forth at each other talking about me, so it's just, I don't know, a bonding experience. So yeah, I don't know why they're crazy. I don't know the backstory on them. I hardly know anything about these people in general, so I'm not sure. Okay, so many people ask me why I don't go off on the neighbors, and that's because if I do, I feel like they're going to go off on me 10 times harder and do something sketchy. Seems like they have a short temper, so I don't really want to mess with that. And I said this in the last video, I like doing this thing where if someone's getting mad at me or yelling at me, I just act like I don't hear them because it makes them even more pissed off. So I love to do that because they get so mad when I don't say anything or don't even acknowledge them, and they just like storm off. It's just so funny to watch, honestly. So that's why I don't. But then if it's something like really bad and serious, I 100% will, and I do. So the majority of the time I just like to piss them off by not saying anything and making them look dumb because they're just yelling at themselves basically. And a small percentage of the time when they actually do something that pisses me off, I will go off on them. Like the other day when the lady was standing there like a foot away from me, sitting there eating a cookie, staring at me work on the van, and I was just like, could you not do that right here? Like that part really pissed me off because I'm like, can you like get away from me? Stop just staring there. So I do have the footage when the police came and I think they got arrested. I have the footage of what happened, and I wanted to put it on TikTok right away, and I asked them that night when they were there, and they said no, not yet, it's turning into a case. So now it is a case, but they took the footage I had and they didn't want me to post it up yet, so they said they'd notify me when I can, but I've called a couple times and they keep saying not yet. So I'm just gonna keep trying because it needs to be on TikTok. Like, you guys need to see this. Okay, someone said, what are the top 3 things I hate about them? Okay, so number 1 is that they're racist. That's one of the things that I'll yell at them every single time when they start saying something like that. That's what pisses me off the most. The second thing is that they're sexist, like I said before. And the third thing is probably that they hate animals, and I say that because what they did to my dog, and every time they see her out there, they're super mean to her and try to do something to her. So those are my top 3 things I hate about them. But everything else, like the comments they make, that doesn't piss me off. I honestly think it's funny. Okay, another one said, do the neighbors know you're the one who called the cops? Yes, they know. Well, I told them if they didn't stop doing this, I'm gonna call the cops on them. So I did. And another question I always get is, are they renting or do they own that house? Unfortunately, they own that house. They just bought it a few months ago. So I'm kind of stuck with them out there for now, but that's why I'm building a tiny house in my backyard and I don't have to see them anymore. And yes, before anyone asks, I am having a full security system being put on the tiny home when I make it, just to be safe. What's the craziest thing they have ever said to me? The craziest thing they've ever said to me is maybe that one time a couple weeks ago when the guy was like, you want to meet your dad? You want to meet your dad? And I was like, what? And he was trying to tell me that I'm adopted. So that was something I was just like, where does that even come from? They say a bunch of crazy stuff, honestly. The craziest thing they've ever done to me would probably be when they destroyed the painting I did on the van. I think that's the thing. I'm just like, alright, these people are crazy. Okay, so I think that's enough for the questions for now. I'll do another one like this if you guys have more questions, or you can ask them down in the comments and I'll try to answer as many as possible if I didn't cover them in this video. But I think we should react to some of their comments in my videos, so let's do that right now.
But the neighbors came back and said this. They were gone for literally one day.
So there was, I think it was the day they came back after I called, and I heard him talking to the lady. This wasn't even talking to me, but he was talking to the lady saying they have all the cell phone footage. So I think they knew that I had them on footage. This is the night I called on them.
Here this happened. Hey, what's up?
Right after that, that's when he stormed up and I called the police, and we all know the rest. This is when the lady came and stood next to me and started eating her cookie.
And then the neighbor said this.
Yeah, could you not do that right there?
She literally...
Oh my god, she seriously walked up to me and started standing there eating the cookie, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but if someone's like standing over your shoulder just watching you do something without saying something, it's so frustrating. Am I the only one who feels that way?
Down, and the neighbor said this. So
oh my god. Oh my god, I forgot this happened like, how long was this? A couple weeks ago. The guy came up to me and he's like, your dad blew it. He should have... Oh my god, okay. He said, your dad blew it. He should have got rid of his somewhere else. I can't. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but he's basically saying I shouldn't have been born, if you know what I mean. Should have done something somewhere else. Oh my god.
I finished the table, but right off the bat this happened.
Meet your dad?
What?
To meet your dad?
No. I can't with these people. That's when he was trying to tell me I was adopted now. He's like, want to meet your dad? Want to meet your dad? Or was he calling himself my dad? I don't know.
And the neighbors got mad at my dog. But anyway.
So they started to walk up on my driveway, and Kaya sits, I have a gate that goes in front of the door, so I leave the door open and she likes to watch me work. So she was just laying there watching, and they started to walk up the driveway, so she barked because she just doesn't like them. So she barked and the lady's like, hey! And then he was saying what he would do to her.
I would, the neighbor said this. It's actually
not much of a cabinet, it's more...
I don't know if you guys could hear that one, but he's like, oh, why you look like that? As I'm wearing like the biggest, bulkiest like grandma sweater in the world. I just can't get mad at some of the stuff they say because it's so funny. I don't know why I look like that. Okay, let's look at like a couple more maybe.
Neighbor started out by saying this. But anyway,
oh my god, they were literally like, the lady came over as I was sanding and she tried to say something, so I was turning off the sander and she's like, oh, I thought it looked great over here. Oh, never mind, and then walked off, like saying that it looked terrible. I can't, they have too much free time on their hands.
By coming out to the van and seeing the neighbors had sabotaged my entire painting from last night.
That's when they sabotaged it. I think I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. I hope you did enjoy this video and it answered some of your questions. But these videos are fun for me to watch. I love listening back because I think it's funny. But I'll keep you guys updated on their ongoing case. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.